वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay. Chapter 2 and the verse 68 today we are starting. Tasmadhyasya mahabaho Tasmadhyasya mahabaho Nigruhitani sarvashah Nigruhitani sarvashah Indriyanindriyarthebhyah Indriyanindriyarthebhyah Tasya pragna pratisthita Tasya pragna pratisthita. Therefore, O mighty armed, his intellect is stable, whose senses are completely controlled against sense object. Okay? Tasmadyasya mahabaho Nigruhitani sarvashah Indriyani indriyarthebhyas Tasya pragna pratisthitah. Bhagwan Krishna conclude the topic of the mind and the senses by using the word tasmad, therefore, and says that the intellect of a person whose mind and senses are completely free from the worldly attraction is stable. Look, in short, what it says, we will discuss more about that. World's objects and the senses will be there. Only thing, if you don't get attached with that, then there is no problem. Okay. We'll discuss this. Okay. By giving the term, by using the word sarvashah, completely. Sarvashah means completely. Bhagwan means to explain that his senses are not inclined towards pleasures, whether he lives in the world or in seclusion, seclusion. In the world, I mean, दुनिया में रह के एकलो रहे हम, seclusion. And even if his mind and senses are directed to the sense objects, they do not lead his intellect astray. Nigruhitani, restrained. Nigruhitani is restrained. Nigruhitan means that the senses have no attachment for the sense objects. And in that context, it is given the example as a snake without teeth has no poison. So, senses without attachment and aversion have no poison to degrade a man from a spiritual path. So, if we want to progress on the path of spirituality, attachment or the aversion, raga, dvesha, aversion, dvesha, raga, attachment, then carry on life as a normal life. Then it will not bring any obstacle on the path of spirituality. Have no poison to degrade a man from a spiritual path. These become sublimated and lead a striver to divinity. Means that if a striver has determination that his aim is to realize God, to reach God, to know God, rather than to enjoy worldly pleasures and prosperity, his intellect will become stable. And that's my target, that's my goal, that's my aim. Therefore, O mighty armed one whose senses are restrained from their object is certainly steady intelligence. So this verse, where it emphasizes that the ability to control one's senses is crucial for achieving a steady and wise mind. Therefore, O mighty armed one, this is a direct address to Arjun. When it's Arjun means all of us. Arjun is a representative, highlighting his strength and potential for self-control, whose senses are restrained from their objects. Nigrahitani. This refers to the ability to detach, not the attach. Detach oneself from the allure and distraction of the external world, the objects of the senses, is certainly of steady intelligence. What it signifies? It signifies that the individual who successfully control their senses develops a mind that is stable, focused, and less susceptible to fluctuations of emotions and desire. In a sense, this verse connects the control of senses with the development of steady intelligence, implying that by mastering the senses, one can achieve more focused. Small thing, but that can bring a big result or change in our life. I give you an example, very, very worldly example. Okay, if I don't have a cup of tea in the morning when I get up, I can't function. That means we are a slave of tea. We can do that. We can do that. Once upon a time, but many years back, I had the same. I need a cup of tea. It's not that I don't have the tea now. I do have. But if I don't have at 5 o'clock or 5:30, and if I have at 8 o'clock, that's also fine. That's also fine. It's a small thing. Small thing. Small thing. That's very common example I gave you. If I don't have this, I can't function. No, man. If we can change the small thing, but that will bring a big change in our whole lifestyle, and that will help us on the path of spirituality. So if we change that, if we change the direction, instead of tea, If I don't make 5 mala of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, how's that? How's that? That will help us. You take anything. I mean, it is said that, I mean, those, the scholar, the saintly people, those who have, I mean, developed soul, let's put that way, they have emphasized on the Namasmaran, chanting of Nam. You take any name, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya. You choose name. And the wise people, when I say wise, those who are the developed soul, enlightened soul, they have written that if you reach to 3.5 crore, means 70. Crore is 70, okay? 3.5 crore name, and you definitely realize the divinity. Choose so small name. If the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 12 letter is too big. Use Panchakshari, 5 letter, Om Namah Shivaya. Use Om Namo Narayan. Or even smaller, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna. I mean, but as I always tell you, from some point we have to start. Some point we have to start. Then and then only. Not by mere discussing or reading, if we can't put in the practice. I have told you so many times. Gnanam bhara kriya vihina. Kriya, action. Vihin, without action. Bhara, burden. Gnan, knowledge. If we can't transfer the action, in action, the knowledge, then we are just carrying the burden. I know all the verses by heart. Tadakim, so what? If you can't put it in practice. Anyway, so this one can achieve more focused, stable and wise state of mind. This is a key step in journey towards spiritual enlightenment as described in the Bhagavad Gita. The same verse I would like to tell you about. That's particular what I'm going to share with you is for this verse from Swami Vivekananda ji. Swami Vivekananda ji writes that it's not enough to have the senses half restrained or partly controlled. Okay. Every effort should be made to control all the activities of the senses completely. Sarvashah. Ceaseless vigilance and perseverance are necessary. Ceaseless vigilance and perseverance are necessary. The Bhagavan repeatedly states that the senses should be restrained and the mind turned towards Atman for spiritual life. Knowledge should be steady and firm and not wavering and flickering like a lamp placed in the open. So, and the same thing it will come in next few chapter. Avyabhicharini bhakti. We will discuss when it comes. It comes in Bhagavad Gita. Any gust of wind may extinguish it. So are the senses. And in that very context, I gave you the example of tea. Small thing. We can't be slave of that cup of tea. And the attractions of the sense world. The senses should be withdrawn from the sense object. The mind should be turned within to look into the self. There is no use in lamenting that life is full of sorrow and suffering. The Bhagavan is addressing such miserable mortals and is exhorting man to take spiritual practices and overcome sorrow and delusion. Basically, the whole Bhagavad Gita started from despondency, sorrow, and Arjun's to be or not to be, whether I should fight or I should not fight. We have that Shakespeare's Hamlet, to be or not to be a question for me. Unfortunately, Hamlet does not have anybody, whereas Arjuna has the same dilemma. But Arjuna has Kaivartakah Keshava. To define Kaivartaka Keshava, Keshava is Bhagavan Krishna. Kaivartaka means who assist you, who guide you in the time of difficulties, in the time of dilemma, either this or that. And friends, that's why it's the Bhagavad Gita. For us in this life. Next life we don't know. In this life, small thing we need to start putting in practice. That's why very clearly said, senses, object, world, everything will be there. Everything will be there. The beauty is if you don't get attached to it. Then it's fine. The moment we get attached, then we are a slave. Because that object will decide my pleasure or pain. So we can't give our decision in that object's hand. So again, as last week, I'm going to conclude this little early due to meeting. Okay, so 73rd verse of 18th chapter. Okay, and as we always say, that our main reference book is Sadhak Sanjivani, Swami Ram Sukdas Ji. Okay, whatever I have described, I have discussed with you, or from the scripture, whatever I have heard, I have read, whatever I have understood, absolutely nothing belongs to me. Nashto moha smrutirlabdha tvat prasadan maya achyuta sthitosme gata sandeha karishye vachanan tava vasudevasutan devam कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। लक्ष्मीनारायण भगवान की जय।